guys? Welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show. It is Tuesday. I cannot believe we're almost to September, folks. September, my gosh. I will give you guys one thing that I'm really proud of, and that is the fact that for the first time in almost 5 years, our YouTube channel has been growing again. We're almost to 400,000 subscribers. So if you're watching by way of Rumble or wherever you may be listening to podcasts, if you're not on YouTube, go over to Chad Prather. Just type Chad Prather on the YouTube search bar and click subscribe if you've never done that. Let's go ahead and kick it over to 400,000. It's interesting to me that YouTube always sends out these plaques to people because they've gotten, 100,000, 200,000. I've never gotten a stupid plaque. I'm going to get one at 400,000. But our numbers, they're still rough over there. It's kind of crazy. We're clawing for every view, baby. But I'm proud of it. I'm excited about it. And, that's the nature of the game. We have kept up a big audience. We've kept up a lot of great information, great truth. We've been through controversy together. We've done a lot of stuff. But we've gotten throttled many, many times by the big platforms that are out there. But we're going to keep on fighting and using them to the best of our ability. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful for folks like you who have subscribed, and we are almost to 400,000 subscribers. That is a big, big deal, especially after we've been through everything that we have through COVID and, all the conspiracies that are now coming true. We'll talk a little bit about some more of that stuff. Today, it seems to me like apparently RFK is going to ban the mRNA. Little jabby jab, the little jabbo. That's interesting stuff. You know why? Because we've always been freaking right. We've always been freaking right, folks. And now we're going to be right about everything. And if you just give it a little bit of time, that's the way it always turns out. The difference between a conspiracy and the truth, it's about 6 weeks. It always comes out. It might take a little longer, but it always comes out. Because if it doesn't pass the smell test, and your instinct says there's something wrong with this, chances are your instinct is right. Sort of like when all these big companies want to rebrand everything. I know you guys are probably sick of talking about Cracker Barrel, but I need to summarize it. Because they came out with an apology and all this kind of stuff, and we're going to hold on to our truth. Listen, Cracker Barrel, they're going to come for everything. They were America's front porch, right? The only place you could buy a rocking chair, eat biscuits, drown in sawmill gravy. Gosh, I love sawmill gravy, but I just got my blood work back in. You could leave that place with a log of summer sausage right there in the bag. Bags full of candy. God's country. Apparently not anymore, because some genius in the boardroom, you saw her, she thought it was going to be a great idea to modernize the brand. And the translation of that was they were going to kick poor Uncle Herschel, that lovable old timer who's been hanging out by that barrel since 1977, kick him to the curb. They took the cracker away from the barrel. Now the logo looks like it belongs on an off-brand oat milk carton at Whole Foods. It's sleek, it's minimal, it's soulless. Well, congratulations. This is another example of woke branding that flies in the face of America's traditional values, and you're suffering the consequences because of it. Now, I know we've talked about Cracker Barrel. You've heard about it. You've heard all of the stuff. You've seen the memes. They're hilarious. I get it. But let this be a wake-up call that they will never hear, because more corporate brands out there are going to continue to do this, and some of your favorites are going to go down the drain in the name of checking the DEI woke boxes. Oh, my gosh. I love this country. I really do, and I love the values upon which it's built. And you know what? People noticed when things like this happened to Cracker Barrel. People lost their minds. You got customers that are screaming, you betrayed our heritage. Well, it kind of pissed me off that they changed the menu around, honestly. You got conservatives out there calling it woke. Even the Democrat Party on their official X account said we didn't like it either. Something we could unify over. Who knew Cracker Barrel was going to bring us together? Even Steak and Shake jumped in and basically said, fire the CEO. I mean, when you got another fast food chain that's dunking on you, it's time to admit that you face planted into the grits. I love grits, too. I got a problem. Cracker Barrel tried the damage control this week, right? Don't worry, y'all. We still value family and hard work and rocking chairs and scratch-made biscuits. Uncle Herschel's still going to be on the menus. But you ripped the soul out of the logo and tried to sell it back to us like we wouldn't even notice. I mean, that's like grandma swapping her cast iron skillet for an air fryer and saying, it's the same, sweetie. No, it ain't, grandma. You know, listen, one of them makes fried chicken, the other one makes little nuggets, okay, frozen ones. And then you got the money. The stock dropped faster than a plate of fried okra at a Baptist potluck. I mean, nearly $100 million in a day was just poof, gone. And they didn't just change the logo. See, everybody came at me saying, oh, who cares about their logo? They didn't just change the logo. It's never, the issue is never the issue, folks. How many times have I had to tell you this for the last 10 years? The issue is never the issue. They erased shareholder confidence by checking those boxes. It's a rebrand that became a self-inflicted exorcism. And here is the truth, folks. Cracker Barrel had one job: be the cozy country place that never changes with the checkerboards in the fireplace. Nobody asked for a hipster glow-up. Nobody wants an urban farmhouse chic. We wanted the checkerboards and the peg games and the walls covered in junk that looks like it came out of Pawpaw's barn. I want a centimeter of dust on that stuff. And the bottom line, you don't mess with tradition. Stop it. We're not at that point yet. Don't mess with biscuits. And you sure as hell don't mess with Uncle Herschel. Bring him back. I mean, the parking lots are empty because people are taking their gravy-covered loyalties somewhere else. I love it. I love it. Just stay at home and make your own dadgum food. That's what we all need to do anyway. All right, guys, let me tell you about my friends over at Allied Oil, AlliedOilfield.com. They're out in Levelland, Texas. They make the equipment that helps us drill, baby, drill. They have been an industry standard for a long, long time for the equipment that's out in the oil field, as well as the trucking industry, design concepts, as well as finished products that are out there. They have created much of the equipment that is standard in those industries. So if you're out there in that industry and you have something that you need built out, or you need something refurbished, let's say you got equipment that needs to be refurbed, they can do that for you. Check them out at AlliedOilfield.com. Or if it's time to spend some of that big oil money on some new equipment, get yourself up-to-dated and retrofitted, get over to AlliedOilfield.com. They got great customer service, and they'll talk to you, and they send us some great merch, too. So I like them over there. They're good folks. AlliedOilfield.com. Here's the guy I've been debating with all morning long about the age of the earth, because that's what we do. Party Foul Steve in the house. Well, ding dong. Wake your ass up.
I don't know if it was a debate per se. We just have a disagreement.
Well, you think the Earth's 400 million years old.
You're a young Earth, whatever you call it.
I don't think it's millions of years old. I just don't think that it is.
I think it's older than 10,000 years, or older than 15,000 years. That's about where you push it to, right?
Yeah, but you don't have any basis for that. I have basis for why I think it's young.
Yeah.
You just think because the science books told you that. See, again, I go back to the whole thing where the reason they need millions of years is because they don't have anything that's ever been produced by evolution. They don't have any missing link. They don't have any, transformations that they can point to and say this became that. There was no frog that crawled out of the ocean and just decided to start walking on two legs. Like, they can't point to any of that. So they say, well, we got these hundreds of millions of years, so surely something must have happened when we couldn't see it.
But can't you believe that it was like Big Bang created by God and everything was boom there?
Well, I think God spoke and bang, everything was.
Okay, do you take the Bible in literal terms as the earth was created in 7 days? Okay.
I do. Yeah. I believe in 7 literal days. I believe in them, and I here's why I believe in it, because He created the plants of the earth and the trees of the earth before He created the sun. Tell me how they were going to last that long without the sun.
Yeah, I have no idea. I think we'll find out. We'll find out someday, or maybe we won't.
Maybe not. So again, I look at all of those things and I think, I take the Bible to be literal. I think it is, and I'm always open to debate with stuff like that. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. That's like I've got a friend of mine. My buddy Mitch Bryant. Mitch is listening to the show right now, so I'm going to call him out. We were talking one day about whether the earth was round or flat. And at the end of the conversation, I was like, does it matter? I mean, does it even matter? I mean, is it going to change my day-to-day life? I don't think it is.
Don't tell me Mitch is a flat earther.
Oh, Mitch. Mitch is a flat earther. I'll call you out, Mitch. He's a flat earther. This is what Steve. This is Party Foul's debate tactic right here. I like to think that the Earth is old. This was it right here. Play this clip.
Like a mischievous badger, like a muscular trapeze artist, like a shapeshifter or a changeling, like that guy. Ever hear that TV show Manimal? I like to think of Jesus as a figure skater. He wears like a white outfit, and he does interpretive ice dances of my life's journey, like a dirty old bum. And he comes up to me, I'm about to sock him one because he's a dirty old bum. And I said, wait a minute, better not sock this guy, something special about him. Yeah. That turns out it's Jesus. Yeah.
Like, I like to think of my Jesus as somebody that wears a tuxedo T-shirt. Like, he's here to party, but he's also about business.
Yes. That's kind of,
I love it, dude. I love it. No.
And everybody has their own thoughts on that kind of stuff. And
yeah, I just don't. We were talking about the what brought that up is you mentioned reading the story where the Guadalupe flood from July uncovered some tracks, some dinosaur tracks, right?
Yeah, they're like T-Rex tracks, 100, and they're estimating 115 million years ago.
Yeah, and I was saying that I don't believe that dinosaurs, as modern science has presented them to us, is accurate. Like, have they found fossils? Have they found bones? Yeah, things like that. Which, again, I also said that the soft tissue that they find often associated on those bones, that DNA would have long been gone. It would have been just wiped away if it was that long. So the fact that they actually find DNA and soft tissue on those bones argues also for the period of a short Earth. It's a fun debate, though. I like to do it.
It makes me want to think about, okay, what do you think about the Ice Age? Did that happen or not?
I think again, what I said was, we were talking about it before, is that truth and error live next door to each other. They're not crosstown rivals. So all these climate alarmists and these planet lovers and these Mother Nature people and these Mother Creation and all this kind of stuff, I don't believe in nature. I don't like using the word nature. Nature is, there's nothing natural about the earth. It's very supernatural. So I'm a creationist, right? So when you look at the climate change has always been there. Yes, the weather changes, but there's also been cataclysmic things that have happened in our world throughout its history, things like the flood and various, whether it's an ice age or whatever. But what we've learned is those things can happen very, very fast, and they can happen over a very fast period of time. Yeah, I do believe that there was an ice age. I just don't think, whether you want to call it, there's been frozen land mass. I believe that there's been tectonic shifts. I believe the flood contributed a lot to that as well. I believe there's been seismic events, but Mount St. Helens in 1980 proved to us that those types of changes can happen very fast and yet still be made to look very old. The scientists proved that. Mount St. Helens literally blew the doors off the theory of evolution, by the way, and the idea of a long Earth. But yeah, those things can happen. But again, I call back to the people that have perverted the idea of stewarding the earth. See, like, I think we should steward the earth. I think that's a biblical concept. You know, it talks about the redemption of the earth in the book of Revelation, because he says you're going to inhabit a new heavens and a new earth. So the Apostle Paul says the creation, that's earth, is groaning, longing for the revelation of the sons of God. In other words, God's wanting to redeem the earth. When he created the Garden of Eden, he created the Garden of Eden with a very specific purpose, but it was for man to subdue it and to have dominion over it. And of course, the sin caused the earth to become contrary. But the earth doesn't want to stay contrary and broken because of the curse. It wants to come back into its redeemed state. And so, yeah, there's a purpose for the earth, and I think we should be good stewards of the earth. But see, the climate alarmists, they flip it the other way, and they make the earth the God. I don't make earth the God. I make the creator of the earth as the God.
Yeah, well, you want people to be good stewards of the earth, and they can't even cut their grass.
Yeah.
So, and be good stewards of their house and their land and property.
There's that story right there.
Yeah.
It's our responsibility, especially as believers, if you believe in a creator. Texas floods washed away debris and dirt. They also uncovered 100-million-year-old dinosaur tracks. Scroll on down there. There's a track. Yeah, that's a big old track right there. The devastating flood. Volunteer helping residents clear debris. 15 large 3-clawed dinosaur footprints scattered in crisscross patterns along the Sandy Creek area. The tracks are unambiguously dinosaurs, were left by meat-eating dinosaurs similar to Acranothosaurus, a roughly 35-foot-long bipedal carnivore. See, they come up with these words, but look at that thing. All right. It's impressive. I mean, regardless of what you believe about it, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
something there.
There's some kid right now that is looking at that and looking at the poster on his wall and knows exactly what kind of dinosaur that is.
Yeah, makes you go all Jurassic Park.
Breaks
Got
out their
little bitty hands, those little bitty T-Rex hands. There's a lot of fossil areas. Glen Rose, Texas has the dinosaur park over there. So there's a lot of stuff that's in Texas. So, it's a fun debate to have. Let's talk about our friends over at Birch Gold before we go any further, because we got a lot to get into. Birch Gold, they are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. They got a deal going right now, actually. Let me pull that sucker back up. They got a deal going right now. If you're a first-time gold buyer and you buy gold with them, they will send you. It's a $10,000. Shoot, I just lost it. It's a $10,000. Just read it. We were supposed to. Here we go. They got see if this is the right one. Yeah, first-time gold buyer. Birch Gold is offering a rebate of up to $10,000 in free metals on qualifying purchases. To claim eligibility and start the process, request an info kit. Now, text CHAD, CHAD, to 989898. Plus, Birch Gold can help you, of course, roll that existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold. You're still eligible for the rebate in free metals of up to $10,000. I think that's pretty cool, man. It's a great giveaway. So if you are into wanting to start your bullion collection or your gold collection, or you just want to have those precious metals, this is a good opportunity to do that because they're doing a matching rebate. Birch Gold is that precious metal company that I trust. Please text Chad to 989898. I would greatly appreciate that on behalf of the Chad Prather Show. Let's represent. Let's be representing. I see you guys in the chat. Put Chad in the chat, little CHAD. Let me just know that you can type those letters out. I want to see if you guys can do it. Put a little Chad in the chat. But text Chad to 989898. All right. CNN. Steve.
CNN, here we go.
People are registering to vote, man. And they revealed a shocking number of people registering to vote for the Republican Party. Now, a lot of this is places like Pennsylvania. Shout out to, the folks over there in Pennsylvania, man. Let me tell you something. They did a fantastic job of swinging that state.
Well, this is a product of the Democrats' crazy left policies, which drives people back towards the center, where the only way to leave the Democratic Party to go towards the center is to vote Republican.
Yeah, and that is something that Glenn Beck said a few years ago that really stuck with me. He said, you can only wind that spring up so much. That pendulum can only go so far before it comes back. But, I mean, this is one of those things. You got to hand it to people like Scott Pressler, who did a heck of a job knocking on doors and getting people registered to vote in Pennsylvania. I mean, the guy almost single-handedly brought the thing back to voting for Trump. Play this clip, see what they say.
4 swing states that, in fact, do keep track of registration by party. Look, the Republican Party is in their best position at this point in the cycle since at least 2005. In all 4 of these key battleground states, we go out to the Southwest. Arizona. How about Nevada? Republicans haven't done this well since 2005. Oh, my goodness gracious, at this point in the cycle. North Carolina, I couldn't find a point at which Republicans were doing better at this point in the cycle. It's at least this century. It probably goes way back in the last century. And Pennsylvania, very similar. Republicans doing better at this point than at any point this century, at least as far as I could find. Now, what types of gains are we talking about here for the Republican Party? Well, let's compare it to this point during the first Trump administration all the way back in 2017. Look at this. The Republican Party gains in party registration compared to this point back in 2017 during the Trump first administration. In Arizona, you got a Republican gain of 3 points. Okay, how about Nevada? Up the hill we go, even though we're sticking in the Southwest. A gain of 6 points. How about, again, we come to the East Coast, North Carolina, a gain of 8 points for the Republicans. And in the Keystone State, in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, again, we're talking.
Photo finish.
This guy. I mean, I'm pretty. And they're off at the great American circus states out of the gate. His broken promises charging to an early lead, but right behind his taxpayer burden, looking heavy-legged already at the inside rail. We got media spin weaving all over to the track, bumping into social outrage, who's a strong pull on Twitter, but running out of the stream in real life.
That's real good off the cuff there. like that.
I grew up, brother. My grandfather was the track manager, Springdale Racecourse, Camden, South Carolina. Halfway through, Inflation Nation is puffing heavy. He's got a long stride. He's out by a length. He's hanging around the leaders while the silent majority is quietly making up ground. That's the way that guy sounds. Anyway, that's interesting. I mean, if you got those 4 states that are keeping track of which party's registering to vote, that's interesting stuff right there. Pennsylvania, dude. I mean, that's huge because, I mean, that's been a hard state to win right there.
Well, it goes back to keep going left, keep going further left, and you're going to drive people away from the party.
Yeah, it's a 80-20 deal. It keeps being an 80-20 deal where they're and now it's really kind of a 90-10. They keep focusing on issues that aren't issues. I mean, we had a deal. What was it that came out yesterday? Utah judge, District 3, I think it was, who didn't throw out the case of the 2 boys that want to still pretend to be girls so they can compete in women's sports. And he didn't throw the case out in spite of the executive order that, Trump has signed about this is not going to happen, right? So they keep doubling down on this crap. And I go back to Uncle Herschel and the Cracker Barrel. This is the stuff that they want to focus on. They keep checking the DEI boxes.
I think that's more like a 99% versus 1%.
Probably so.
Issue.
Probably so.
You have your Trump haters, on social media. They're going to hate Trump no matter what. But the regular person out there just, living life and doing things, looks at policies and stuff like that. And they don't want crime. They don't want illegal immigrants milking the system. They want them out of the country. That's just normal, regular people.
Well, it's just those squeaky wheels. Those are the people that keep punching through, right? Those are the people we pay attention to because they're whack jobs. Secretary Duffy has announced, we talked last week about the guy that did the U-turn in front of the 3 people in the minivan and they got killed.
I saw that today where they had 2.5 million signatures for them to be for the courts to be lenient on him.
Lenient. And to let him go.
It's
these people out here are absolute morons, dude. They're absolute morons that want to do this stuff. But he said places like California, New Mexico, Washington, you keep failing to comply with the Trump administration's English language proficiency standards for commercial truck drivers. There's going to be enforcement. I like this. Play the clip.
We are not going to tolerate states that don't comply with the rules that come from this department. And so we are going to, first of all, we've identified several states that have not been in compliance. That would be Washington, California, and New Mexico. Those are the three states that have not complied with this rule, which, by the way, this driver in Florida had received a CDL in Washington, California, and was pulled over in July for speeding, and no doubt couldn't speak the English language. And law enforcement in New Mexico did not take his rig out of service. So this one driver touched all 3 states. Based on our review, they are not complying with our rule. And so phase 1 for us, which I'm announcing today, is we are going to give these states 30 days to come into compliance with truck drivers speaking proficiently the English language, or we're going to look at federal funding that they receive under the Motor Carrier Safety Assistance Program. So I believe California is 20 million or 30 million? 30 million. Washington is 10 million, and New Mexico is 7 million. Correct. Jesse will confirm that in a second, but these are millions of dollars. By the way, this is phase 1. There are other actions that we can take to make sure states comply, and hopefully in the next 30 days, we won't have to withhold any money from them. But if they don't come into compliance, we will start with withholding this money, and then we will take additional steps.
Now, you know what's going to happen, right? These states are going to push back because that's what they do. Imagine living in a world where you think truckers don't need to understand the road signs to drive on American streets and roads.
why not come up with a way that you can't leave that state if you're licensed, your CDL in that state, and you have not passed some type of test that verifies you speak English and know the road signs, that you can't drive across state lines. And if you do,
well, I mean, you shouldn't be able to drive in those states either. And I don't like 30 days. Give them about 48 hours. And then,
I mean, think about nursing license and other types of license that you have to be licensed in each state. And they're not just, you get a CDL in California, you can drive all over the United States. How many truckers are driving all over the United States right now that cannot speak English, cannot read English, and probably, I guess, can't take it? This is just one.
Well, we saw what Maryland did yesterday. We saw the interview with him. He couldn't speak a lick of English. And here's my thing is, here's my thing. Do what Florida's doing and use the way stations as compliance stations. Like that should be like an immigration checkpoint right there. I mean, I think Florida's going to use truck way stations as checkpoints for immigration and make sure that the people there are actually legal and driving the truck. They're legal, much less can speak the language. But I mean, I think that ought to be something. Federalize the freaking way stations.
You would have to not only speak, but you would have to read the language as well.
Yeah. I mean, if you're out there on a road and you can't freaking read the language,
we've done that. We've done this to ourselves because for years and years, we've always had at least two languages, whether, even if you're getting your driver's license, they got it in Spanish and they have it in English. And anytime you call the bank, anytime you call anywhere, you have option 1 or 2, the English or Spanish. Yeah. And if you go to a foreign country, I bet you don't get English as a second option.
No, you don't. Actually, I know people who have gone to other countries, like that people that were majoring in college or whatever in certain languages. They'll go live in a country where that's the native language, and they'll live there for 6 months. And the reason they do is they immerse themselves in only that language, and it forces them to learn it, or
you starve to death.
Which is amazing to me that the dude from Guatemala or El Salvador, he was from Guatemala, right? Wherever he came from, wherever that dude was from. Garcia, wherever he was from, the fact that he's been here for 10 years and still can't speak English?
Because he doesn't need to.
He doesn't need to. That's right. But you go to other countries, that's a fair point, what you said, Steve. Jackasses. I mean, we just live in a clown world. We really do live in a clown world where people are going to try to fight against this and justify this. And I can't understand. I really can't understand. It's one thing to be xenophobic. I mean, I've spent plenty of time overseas. Y'all know that. But let me just say, it was one thing to be xenophobic, but it's another thing to have this overall affinity for foreigners that makes them sort of like greater humans than native-born Americans are. Like, what is this whole compassion thing that has taken us to this toxic empathy that says these people need to have like a better leg up because they came here illegally, or we need to protect these people? I mean, at what point in the time do we come back and say American exceptionalism is what matters? And we want to be great. English language is great. Our culture is great. Our foundations are great. Our values are great. Our Constitution is great. All these things we believe in, our freedoms, our liberties, all these things. But yet you're just going to go shit on them because you're like, all these people coming from over here. It's like you just adopted a pet or something. Like, oh, he's so cute. Look at he's brown and furry and he says things we don't understand. Like you just got a gremlin. God forbid he gets water on him, though. Or he's, up after eats something after midnight. I don't remember what happened, but like, well, really? I mean, like you just got a little pet gremlin, you got a little gizmo, and you're like, oh, look how cute they are. You ship them up to Martha's Vineyard, and they're like, oh, we made them cookies in a potluck, and now we're going to wave goodbye. We miss them so much. They've been here for 24 hours. And you're protecting these jackasses who came here believing, not in the American dream, believing that they could come in and just take over. No intention of assimilating. And you got these jackass, protected, false sense of security, weird, uppity bubble Americans out there who have never been anywhere in the world unless they were at a 5-star all-inclusive resort in Italy or something, or Mexico. They have no clue how the rest of the world works.
Yeah. All that being said, on Sunday when I went to the restaurant, I had to use Google Translator so I could order our food, and it was the greatest. I guess South American cuisine.
You went to a churrascaria?
Huh?
Do you go to a churrascaria?
No,
like a Brazilian steakhouse?
No, I went to El Tree Mexican restaurant. We go on the Facebook page. Everything's in Spanish. You go in.
Why'd you go there?
Because you know me. That's where I'm going to go eat because it's good.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was extremely good.
Was it South American?
It was kind of a combination of, I guess,
Tex-Mex meets Argentina.
Yeah, exactly. And it's all soccer memorabilia, stuff like that. We were the only two white people there. I was like, you know what, though? I adapted. I made sure I could order my food in Spanish.
Oh, my God.
I was fully immersed into that situation.
Bro, you are a trip, man. Eric Adams has sworn in DJ, our little buddy DJ Daniel, sworn in honorary NYC, New York City. Play the clip. This is good.
So just moments ago, New York City Mayor Eric Adams honored DJ Daniel. He's the 13-year-old Texas teenager who's been battling spinal cancer. You might remember when President Trump made Daniel an honorary Secret Service agent. Well, now Mayor Adams is naming Daniel as the next deputy mayor of public safety for New York City.
Of deputy mayor
for
public safety of the city of New York, according to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations, DM.
That's awesome. Good for him. DJ Daniels now holds several records for being sworn in by the most law enforcement agencies across the country, with over 1,000 to his name.
So great.
Wow.
Over
I thought it was like 100, but I did not realize that. I wonder if he needs a deputy. I'd like to be his deputy.
Yeah, you'd have to ride. You could drive for him.
Yeah. Well, I think his dad takes good care of him.
Yeah, he does do that, man. I love to see it. That's kind of cool. I mean, I love the way the country, though, everybody across the country has kind of come together for this kid and done what they've done. He takes that stuff serious, too, little DJ.
And that's a Democratic mayor.
Yeah. I mean, DJ's all about business, man. He's standing on business.
I was just going to say it's not just a right wing, conservatives that are doing this.
It's humanity.
Yeah.
Be human. Just be human. We talked about yesterday Trump's executive order. I put a little clip out yesterday about how Trump was, making an executive order where it was illegal to burn the flag. It's on the basis of it being an inciting violence or riots. That's the 1-year deal. It's not necessarily burning the flags, because a lot of people came back and said, well, he's taking away their First Amendment rights. And yeah, I think on the basis of burning a flag, you do have a First Amendment right to be a douchebag. You have a First Amendment right to do the wrong thing, but you don't have the right to incite violence, which is what they were basing that executive order on. But people don't read past the headlines, right? Well, here's a dude that just got arrested. I mean, you know what? Just go out there and test it. There's always a dumbass got to touch the stove and see how hot it is. He's right outside the White House. He goes out there and lights the flag up, and guess what happens? He gets arrested. Play it. There you go. He's out there on his little loudspeaker doing his thing. He's barking in his orders, whatever he's going to do. He's finding meaning in life here, and sets the flag on fire, and being a little yahoo.
If you with a gay pride flag, they would say it was hate.
100% they would. If you were to do that, you'd be canceled.
America.
You'd be fired. You wouldn't be able to get a job if you did that with a pride flag. And not just a flag. If you just did a burnout in your truck on it, there he goes. Well, FAFO. FAFO right there. There he is. But he's proud, man.
Yeah. Go be proud. Sit in jail for a year.
Go sit in jail, dude. Go sit in jail. I mean, just stop. Why do people have to be idiots?
No,
it just blows my mind.
Ironically, do you know how you dispose of a flag?
Well, you burn it. But there's a ceremony to it, right? Yeah. I mean, go to jail for a year. I mean, you embarrass yourself, dude. I mean, you can protest from jail. Just stop. I mean, people got to prove a point, dude. I mean, this is a dude who is a veteran, if I read the article right. The dude is a veteran. I mean, you defended the flag, right? I mean, you took an oath to defend that flag. It stood for something. You wore it on a uniform. You went into battle with it. You trained under it. You marched with it. And now you're going to pull some political stunt and just cheapen it like that? I mean, that just... I go so far as say, look, if you took an oath to it, I mean, you took an oath to the Constitution. You took an oath to this country to defend it against, all enemies, foreign and domestic. I think you strip their honors, you strip their military service, you strip everything.
Yeah, 100% agree. That that's a disgrace.
I mean, if you had not taken an oath, that'd be one thing. But again, we're not. The military's not playing around. You gave your word to that. So you know what? If your word didn't mean anything, then let's take the oath back and everything that it stands for. That's the way I look at it. So, let's play this. This dude got arrested in D.C. And just like Trump said, this cashless bail, Trump says these criminals get right back out on the street. Listen to what this guy says.
One man wanted in connection with an armed carjacking in Maryland told us that, why are you sending me back to jail? I won't even be there very long.
The judge is literally going to say we're going to put him on a 3-day hold. Then once the 3-day hold is up, and who never shows up. I done been over D.C. jail 6 times for the same warrant. They never show up. D.C. jail has to release me. They release me. It's the same thing every time. The same thing every time.
I'd love it if they could cut to not him in handcuffs, but getting butt railed in prison, because this time they decided to keep him.
Is this a problem with the DA or something like that? With them,
the whole system, the whole system. They're not going to come get him.
So there's a reason that Trump's had to,
And again, it's cashless bail. Now, I had some people push back, and I mean, we cover these headlines the way they do. I had some people push back in the YouTube comments, which I'd love for you guys there in the chat to leave us a comment on YouTube and Rumble when you can. Let us know the things you agree and disagree with, because sometimes we might bring them up. There were people who says, well, they're, with AI and people getting arrested for things that they never did. This cash, people sometimes need to be able to get out because they can, it takes time to prove their innocence and stuff like that. I'm not saying there shouldn't be a bailout. I'm not saying that. And I don't think Trump's saying that either. This cashless bail, that's the issue. People never want to pay attention to the little details. It's the cashless bail. It's the catch and release. It's the putting people in there and then you don't follow up with them. I mean, that's the same problem as giving somebody a slap on the wrist and telling them to come back for court 2 years from now when they came into the country illegally. They're not going to show back up. Well, if you're not going to follow through with the justice system and have consequences for crime. And then, as I said in the show yesterday, we need to have a speedy trial. That's another thing that needs to be overhauled, because that's something guaranteed to you in the Constitution is you have a right to a speedy trial. People shouldn't have to sit there for months and years on end before they go before a judge or a jury. So anyway, but yeah, he's going to get right back out. Like he said, 6 times, same deal. They don't show up.
That's pathetic. That shows you our system. And they're letting them out on their own recognizance. Is that how you say that?
Recognizance, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, man, if you let me out, I'm gone.
Yeah, I'm out. Peace. I mean, there's a reason why they took Trump's. I mean, there's a reason why they took Trump's passports and his family's passports. And they're like, oh, he's gonna flee the country. So, the whole thing is a mess. But again, the whole justice system, don't get me wrong. I've been saying for years, our tyrannies, I've listed off all the tyrannies. The justice system, the court system is one of the tyrannies that we're facing in this country. Just ask some of the dads out there that are trying to get custody of their kids or even visitation with their kids. It's a mess. Old Joe, man, I don't know which version of Joe Biden this was, Steve.
Uh-oh.
But a new video, it's actually an old video, resurfacing. Look at Joe. Earlobes are touching the skull, actually. This is what he said 30 years ago, my buddy Christian Collins. Christian, I got to text him, dude. He's pulling some good ones on the he doesn't let me come speak at the Texas Youth Summit anymore. What did I do, Christian? Come on, you love me, buddy. He don't invite me to come speak anymore. But he called for more prison cells, more police officers, more prosecutors, putting thugs away for a long time. We know that Joe Biden loves his thugs. He's had all kind of things to say. But today's Democrats are against President Trump's efforts to restore law and order. This shows how radical Democrats have become. They have become radical because they're going to get kicked out of the club if they don't go along with the progressive Riri squad. So here's what Joe had to say. Is it Joe or is it
Violent drug offenders will commit more than 100,000 crimes on this day alone. And the sad part is that we have no more police in the streets of our major cities than we had 10 years ago. And what the president proposes won't help much. What he proposes is no increase over what the Congress has already approved last year. In a nutshell, the president's plan doesn't include enough police officers to catch the violent thugs, not enough prosecutors to convict them, not enough judges to sentence them, and not enough prison cells to put them away for a long time. Violent drug offenders will...
Where's Joe's stutter? I thought Joe had a stutter. Isn't that what we heard for the last 6 years, that Joe has a stutter?
Stutter, something, all kinds of things. So.
They're like, you can't make fun of a guy, he's got stutter. I make fun of you. This is back before Joe decided to jump in on the grift, baby.
I know you get on to him about his earlobes not touching and stuff like that, but as we grow older, our ears and nose keep on growing.
They keep on growing. Well, I don't know about his. I mean, my ears are growing, but they're growing. Mine are growing out and a little bit bigger, but they're like, they still touch. Like I've never had like an earlobe that's not touching. See, yours does that. Mine connects. But his is different. His cheekbones are different. His chin's different. His forehead's different. His hairline's different. His eyebrows are different. The whole thing's different. Whole different structure. His eyeballs are different. Everything. And I know he's pulled tight. He's had a lot of work done. But again, this is before Joe got in on the grift. This is, again, I go back to the point. But well, once upon a time, people that claimed to be Democrats also had some patriotism about them and a little bit of common sense. But again, now we've gotten into a whole level of retarded squad member that they control the keys to the kingdom, and you're going to lose all the power if you don't say what they want you to say.
There's a lot of Republicans this day that 30 years ago they voted Democrat.
100%. Like we were talking about somebody the other night at dinner who was talking about, oh, well, you know, this person used to be a Democrat. They were big time JFK. And I was like, yeah, I probably would be too. Yeah. My father, you know, my late father, God bless him, he loved JFK, you know. He wasn't no Democrat, I can tell you that. Neither was JFK, really, not by today's standards. University of Michigan's Medical Center will no longer offer puberty blockers, and this is, honest to God, we have to say this out loud, or hormone drugs to minors following pressure from the Trump administration. What? I mean, this is from Libs at TikTok. University of Michigan, they've put the deal out as of yesterday, in response to unprecedented legal and regulatory threats to our clinicians and our institution. We've made the difficult decision to stop prescribing puberty blockers and gender-affirming hormones for patients under the age of 19. Now, let me be clear on this. They told me that wasn't happening. For years and years, when I talked about this on this show, I had the Riris come at me and tell me that this simply wasn't happening. You can't point to a single place where that's happening in our country. And then I would do it. Cite your sources. And I would cite the sources. That's coming from Fox News. Well, there you go. Michigan says we will continue to care for our gender diverse patients, providing all appropriate care other than puberty blockers and gender affirming hormones. I hate that phrase, gender affirming. You know, you want to affirm somebody's gender, look between their legs. If that's what they got, that's what they got. I know you're going to come out and talk about some hermaphroditic BS or somebody that has dysphoria. That's up here, not down there, okay? That's up here, not down there. That's a John Hopkins mental illness. And they forced John Hopkins to change the definition of that too. But it's been mental illness. He has a disease called homosexuality. I love those little commercials they play. Joe suffers from a disease of the mind, a disease called homosexuality. You don't want to say anything. You're scared. You think you're going to get canceled, don't you, Party Foul Steve?
Dude, I've been canceled so many times.
You just think you think you're going to get deplatformed.
No, it's not.
You can follow him on social media at Venmo.
Like
at Party Foul Steve.
That conversation we were having earlier about a dead relatives watching us. I'm like,
I know.
Sorry, Mom.
We understand, according to Michigan, how impactful these changes will be to many of you. Your safety and well-being is important to us. So basically, Michigan's saying that we're committed to supporting you during this challenging time. They're saying that the Trump administration is bullying us to stop us from giving puberty blockers and gender-affirming care to children. But that wasn't happening.
Dude,
remember?
Absolutely no way a physician should be giving gender affirmation care, drugs. That's right. Because they think,
again,
that's what they are. Now,
if you're an adult,
very rare case of, the dual sex, like you were talking about.
Hermaphroditic, something like that.
Hermaphroditic. I understand having to choose, all right, how are we going to raise this child? In that case, I would say, okay, but that has to, that's a decision between the physician and the parents. But just because the kid thinks they're a girl or thinks they're a boy, no, absolutely not.
Let me sum it up for you. If you're an adult and you think you're the opposite sex, you have a mental illness. If you are 8 years old and think you're the opposite sex, your parent has a mental illness.
Yeah.
Bottom line, your parent has a mental illness and they're a child abuser. So, just because you tape a banana between your legs doesn't make you a man. It just doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, again, let's go back to what we were talking about earlier. They will look at these fossilized footprints in Kerrville, Texas, and be like, dinosaurs, that's science. Well, they can't prove a lot about that. It's speculation is what it is. But then they're going to say that the confirmed science when it comes to gender-affirming care is the biology we're going to run with. Yeah. That's the problem I have with all of this crap. So... yeah, they're hypocrites.
In a million years, when they dig up them bodies,
you know what? They're going to dig up those bones. They're going to go, that was a woman and that was a man. I don't care how you felt up here. I don't care if you got bullied on the playground or not. In 100 years, when they dig up those bodies or the flood washes you up, they're going to go, oh, we just found the remains of a woman or a man.
Now, what's causing the uptick of the gender
insanity, dude? I'm not going to say anything about the vaccine schedule or anything else because we're going to get pinned. So I'm not going to say.
I wasn't even going there. I mean, I
will. I mean, you want to talk about all the crap we've been pumping into ourselves with our diet and our medicines and all the stuff, and we're pumping them into kids and anything that anybody wants to do to bring themselves kind of back to. I mean, you get around somebody that wants to drink raw milk. And I don't like milk. I don't think your body wants to drink milk. Colostrum from a mammary gland is one thing, but I don't think that people are created to drink milk. I think that everybody has an intolerance there. That's why the phlegm gets in the back of your throat every time you drink it, because your body, no matter how it reacts, ultimately is still trying to kick a lot of that stuff back. But I do appreciate the people who want to drink raw milk. I get it. You want to pasteurize it, homogenize it, all this kind of stuff. Well, you also want to infuse it with all kind of crap you don't know what it is. But you get somebody out there that wants to drink raw milk, and they're going to persecute that person and be like, you can't do that. It's a fight to do what you want to do. So what I don't like, people can call me crazy for defending it, but what I don't like is defending this huge nutritional quote, the FDA and all these kinds of, I love it when people always ask me, they're like, is this Make Wellness, is it approved by the FDA? Who trusts the FDA? I don't trust the FDA. I just went through 4 years of lockdowns and COVID.
They get paid a lot of money.
A lot of money. A lot of money. All right, real quick, that Uber driver that knocked that man out, turns out, did you see this clip right here? Dude's holding his dog.
I did not see this clip.
Bam, headbutts him, punches him. He's gone. That dude was like an attorney or some kind of city official, but the Uber driver that did it, he's an illegal.
That was a nice punch to that jaw, that nerve right there. Took him out. Boom.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he stuck it up there, and he took it like a glass jaw, and that girl's just standing there. And yeah, look at that little squat right there. He never loses the dog, man.
In ancient times, during the dinosaurs, she would have jumped in the car and rode off with the guy that punched her boy.
He'd have clubbed her over the head and drug her in the Subaru there, or the Audi, whatever that is, by her hair.
He kind of headbutted him first, didn't he?
Yeah, he headbutted him, punched him in the face with his head. And here's the deal. Never confront another man while holding a designer dog. Let's just walk away from that with that, okay? Just don't do it. But that guy's illegal. Send him to Uganda.
I want to know what happened that led up to that punch, though.
I read the story and don't remember what it was. And I can't remember the whole thing that happened. Apparently, this would happen in Charleston, South Carolina. So they put an ICE arrest detainer on the guy to ensure he's not released back into American communities to terrorize more Americans. His name is Vadim Nikolaievich Ulyamzhev. I can't do it. He's from Russia.
I just want to know what that American said to him before he punched him.
Well, again, you don't confront another man while holding a cockapoo or snickerdoodle or whatever dog he was holding. Don't be holding your dog. If you got a dog that's got 4 legs and it can't walk on its own, get another dog. Girly ass. And you can put your face up against another dude's face. And I think I'm on the Russian side. I think I like the Russian. I think I'm going to go with Ivan Drago on this one. I think I like the Russian. I mean, you got in his face. Bam, you got what you got. He's illegal. They'll send him back to Russia.
I wonder if that Uber driver got tipped.
Do svidaniya.
I'll tip you in the app.
He ain't got 5 stars anymore. I can tell you that.
Maybe the guy told him, I'll tip you in the app.
Yeah.
But he mistranslated it and got something totally different out of it.
He didn't get tipped. He got tapped. That's what happened.
He got tapped
right there. Yeah. Tap. Face to face. Bam! It threw that glass jaw up in there and he punched it. Boom! That's how you turn that. You know how you knock somebody out? You got to turn that skull. The skull turns quicker than the brain does, and that's what knocks him out. So he gone. He gone. I want to encourage everybody before we go to this next story. I want to encourage everybody, go to YouTube or Rumble and watch my 12-minute clip of me disagreeing with Donald Trump yesterday. Vehemently disagreeing with him about the 600,000 Chinese students that he said he's going to keep in the country. And it's good for us. It's not good for us. So those of you who say I just kiss Trump's butt, whatever, and never disagree with him, no. I consistently called him out on things like that. Go back and watch that clip. It's separate from the show. Separate from the show. It's 12 minutes of my own commentary. So I want you to watch it. What you going to say?
I'm gonna have to read into that a little bit to see if I agree with you or disagree with you.
Yeah.
On it. So.
Do your best. Do your best, sir.
I will.
Do your best, sir.
All right. Legally.
Well, they're here on a student visa. The UK. Now, this is a crazy story. I was reading this at 3 o'clock in the morning. This is actually Scotland. This young girl, I think this guy, this illegal, has been chasing her for a while now, like harassing her for a while. She's driven to the point where she pulls out a knife and I think what appears to be like a hatchet in defending herself against this person who's been harassing her. Look at her.
Where did she pull those out?
I don't know. She was waiting on stuff, but apparently she claims that they claim that the illegal had been harassing her. Well, guess who got arrested? The girl. They arrested the 14-year-old girl for that happening.
She was carrying some weapons. Looks like she was either prepared for it, or if you saw this as somebody just looking on, she looks a little crazed.
I mean, I think from the story that I read that she had kind of been harassed for a while.
Yeah.
But leave her alone.
Yeah.
I mean, you drive a kid to a point where you're pulling blades out, leave her alone.
Now, why didn't she pull a gun? They probably don't let them have guns.
They don't have that in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get to do that. But Scotland police, they arrested her. But apparently this was an illegal who also had, I'm not going to go any further.
Well, it is good to know that other countries have problems with illegals. We're not the only one.
Oh, that's overrun. UK's overrun.
What are they doing? What are they doing? For illegal immigration.
They're not doing anything. They're gone. They're done. It's over. The UK is finished. The number one birth name last year was Mohammed.
Are we
done?
We as Americans, are we did Trump stop it before the tipping point?
No, it's still going to tip at some point in time because eventually something else is going to come along. And I mean, how do you deal with 50 million illegals that are still in the country? Yeah. You know? Anyway, Trump, we started the show talking about Cracker Barrel. If you missed that, go back and watch my 5-minute little monologue. I'm proud of him. President Trump finally weighed in on this. Cracker Barrel. Yeah, I mean, can you imagine Donald Trump eating at a Cracker Barrel? Or even, do you think Trump even realized Cracker Barrel existed?
Probably not. But
I mean,
he would eat
Trump, there. Trump, you know, being a New Yorker and all the things that Trump has been. I mean, Trump, what is this, Cracker Barrel? I never heard of Cracker Barrel. I'm sure it's fantastic. Like Trump doesn't live on the same planet we live on. But he said they should go back to the old logo, admit a mistake based on customer response, the ultimate poll, and manage the company better than ever before. They got $1 billion worth of free publicity if they pay their cards right. Very tricky to do, but a great opportunity. And he's right. He's right. Have a major news conference today. Make Cracker Barrel a winner again. Remember, in just a short period of time, I made the United States of America the hottest country anywhere in the world. 1 year ago, it was dead. Good luck. He's not wrong.
Man, if you're out on the interstate, Cracker Barrel's always full. Especially in the morning times. If you're
well, did you see John Rich's post from Mount Juliet, Tennessee, day before yesterday?
No, I did not.
Yeah, middle of the day, well, like should be rush hour, or a morning rush, empty.
Yeah, ours is 3 miles from the house here, and there's in the morning time. I went by there this morning at seven this morning, and it's pretty full.
Have they changed their logo?
No, they haven't changed their logo. They may have changed the inside. I don't really eat Cracker Barrel.
Well, not all of them have changed the inside yet. That's what the CEO, she said that their management, all the managers were begging for them to get the makeover. She said that's the soundbite. This was dinner time, normally packed Mount Juliet, Tennessee. This is what John said. So look at that. I ain't never seen a parking lot at Cracker Barrel that empty, bro.
Yeah, dinner time. Cracker Barrel's really not a dinner time kind of place. I mean,
oh, you're stupid. No, Boy, stop. You're just being contrary for contrary's sake right now.
No, I wouldn't go there for dinner. I'd go there for breakfast, but I go there to get their apple butter. I buy their apple butter out of the little store.
Well, you know what? Now they're going to have some woke stuff in the apple butter.
Yeah, well, they already.
I can make that a dirty joke, but I won't.
They changed the recipe a few years ago. It doesn't quite taste the same as it used to.
Yeah, that's the same deal. Well, I did see that, but let's look at that again. That dust storm out in Arizona. I saw that real quick. I looked at it at least long enough to see where it was. Epic dust storm.
Yeah, I really feel sorry for the lady that just finished dusting her house. There's nothing more I hate than dusting. Because you know that,
like when we were in,
it's going to find its way in your house. There's no way it cannot.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, when we were in Nigeria, you had the dry seasons and the rainy season. That harmattan dust, which is the dust that blows off the Sahara Desert. I mean, it would travel for hundreds of miles on the wind and the air, and your whole house would be covered in that harmattan dust. So just constant. Mute yourself, David. I hear that static again, Daddy. Oh, David, I don't know why we keep him around. Because we wouldn't have a show. That's why. And I want you guys to follow him at David Medina PDX. He's going to start his some of his commentary content back next week. We're making him do it. He's got the best content out there at David Medina PDX. He don't want to do it. You know why? Because people are assholes.
Don't read the comments, David.
David tells me every day, quit reading the comments. And you know what? David has actually helped me a lot because he's like, don't give any energy to that. You know, you got people who come at you and you want to fight with them. And it's like, I'm just kind of over it. I talk about Jesus now.
I don't look at any comments on any of the. Now in Rumble, I participate in that comment section over on Rumble. So make sure you're over on Rumble watching and listening during the live, cast. You can comment. I'm usually there.
Yeah, baby. I'm hoping the book is finished. The book is the final edit is done on Born for Meaning. You can go to bornformeaning.com and you can pre-order the book, the paperback. But you can pre-order it right now at bornformeaning.com. And I'm hoping the digital copy will be up here in the next couple of days. People can get it on Kindle, Amazon, all the places, and on wherever digital books are. But I like it. Steve, I mentioned you in it.
Oh, nice. It's like a chapter or two? Or
No. It's just your name.
I really want to get started on reading your first book you wrote 5 years ago.
It only came out in 20.
Yeah, I only read this section about me.
Yeah, and this has been a labor, but a labor of love. I've enjoyed it. I've reread through it again last night, much of it in some final things, and it's blessed me. It's a very easy book to read, and it's quite simple. So, but I wrote it sort of like in my style. I want every line to be a one-liner that you can kind of put on the refrigerator if you need to. Easy book, 15 chapters, and then we put 30 days of. Yeah, it's paperback. No, just do paperback. And then we're going to do 30 days at the end of it, 30 days of sort of guided prayer and reflection at the back of the book. So, nice. Yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm pleased with it. I love the message of it. It's anybody that's gone through grief or gone through heartbreak or just gone through some hard times. That's all of us in recent days.
Everyone.
Everybody. And it gets you back on track, but it's not religious. It's not like overly religious. Like it's not laying a whole bunch of heavy crap on you. It's just some real simple stuff that I think people can relate to. And I wrote it out of a dark place myself, and it was some bright light that came. So I'm proud of it. Bornformeaning.com. Pre-order it. We're going to have it out in the next week or so. I'm excited about that. So, and then, of course, Before the Noise, every morning doing those episodes. We've been in John 4. I think I might take a break and move over. I really kind of feel the need to move over to another book for a little while before we come back to the book of John. Did you watch it live this morning, Steve?
Yes, I did.
I saw you in the chat.
Yeah, I got there like 2 or 3 minutes late. We had an incident in the middle of the night that kept me up extra late. Not an incident. I don't know.
You thought it was going to be an incident.
Yeah, we thought we got that. It lets me know I sleep real heavy. Anyway, my son walks in my bedroom door at 12 o'clock, said, the baby's on the way.
He actually walked in your house.
Yeah. Well, he has a code. He can get in. What's mine is his. So he can come in here. But anyway.
Good thing he didn't get shot.
Yeah, well, dude, I was out. I woke up to him saying that, and I freaked out. And, of course, we jump up, and Tony and them, they all go to the hospital. I've got the other 2 kids. And anyway, it was a false alarm, but it was a good practice run. I need to make sure I have my ringer on my phone turned on.
21 different people in the last hour have text messaged me. 21.
Yeah.
21.
4 or 5.
Crazy, dude. Insane. All right, we're going to jump off here. Party Foul, tell them bye.
Hey, y'all, everyone follow me on Facebook, Instagram, @PartyFoulSteve, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Nailed it. I love it when they say, tell them bye. Steve says, hey. All right, guys, go to watchchad.com is where all the fun stuff is. We're working on a bunch of stuff, including a beforethenoise.com website where you can not only see the videos, but also some study help, study guides, some prayers, some written materials that are going to be there. So we're working on that website right now. And it's going to be a one-stop shop for all things Before the Noise. Tune in at 8, 7 Central each morning, Monday through Friday. I love having you there. It's my favorite thing of the day. It really is. I wake up very, very early praying about this, just excited about it, and I love bringing it to you. So thanks for being a part of that as well. For the Chad Prather Show, hit the thumbs up, hit subscribe, go leave us a rating and review on Apple and Spotify. Subscribe to YouTube and Rumble, and I will see you tomorrow morning. And if I miss you there, we'll be back on the Chad Prather Show. I love you guys so much. Pray for you. You pray for me. God bless you. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.